Hi, this is Tom Stubbe. I am going to show you in this video how to get to your forms that you've already filled out some stuff on the database, and then how to download those forms and put them in your Google shared folder. Okay, here is step one. You go to this site, nwse.org, and you go to this link right over here, and that hopefully yours will autofill, but mine's autofilling with the wrong stuff because that's what I normally use. But in this case, I'm putting in my example student information. And so this should have been emailed to you. Hopefully you had your computer memorize it so you don't have to do anything right now. And remember, this database, you always have to push the buttons. So, okay. So there you go. I am in. This should look similar to what you have been in and have completed. But now things are going to look a little bit different. So notice it says complete, complete, complete. Yours may not say complete right here, and that's okay because this is the form I fill out. Form 1 is the adult checklist for you. So if you go into that, the sample students, I say I've reviewed all these things, and she's working on vertebrate animals, so she does need to have her project approved. Okay, so form 1 is something I do and then put into your folder. So if you need more forms than 1A and 1B, we'll get to that in a little bit, but we're going to just start off with these. So this should say complete, and we're going to go on to this button. Here is the keys to the kingdom here. Okay, so a lot of people never see this button, and they do it the hard way. So now I've got all my forms that I can print. So I'm going to show you the ones that you should print. Now notice it says incomplete when on the other page it said complete. So this is just a quirk in the system. I've never seen anybody's projects actually say complete at this point. So assume that it is complete if it says complete on the other side. So now it's going to fill out a PDF with all your information. And now this PDF, it won't go away, the information that you filled out. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. You want to check a couple things like actual start date. Like this actual start date would be a bad start date because our meeting got postponed and we don't get approved until the 4th this year. So I would probably need to change that, but we're going to continue on anyway. And if you're in Google Chrome, you're going to download it like this. And I'm going to just call it Form 1A. Those numbers don't mean anything, so I'm going to put my student's name here and say save. So you could do the same thing, Form 1A, and then your name. And then Chrome's nice because it'll store this PDF down here. If you're in Safari, you can go up to File, and it'll say Export as a PDF somewhere about here. So that's what you do instead. Either way, you're going to be downloading a PDF of this form. And now here's the key. Where does that go? Well, you should get an email from me that said you have a shared file folder with me. And so that's what we're going to do next. Well, first, actually, let's go back here and let's download the other form we need, which is 1B. So it says print, but really, I could print it from here, and in this case, I would, because this one also requires the signatures of the parent and you, the student. Okay, so those, And then the rest is all not for you. That's all to be filled out by my SRC. So print this up, and then you're going to have to scan it back in somehow. So maybe you've got a scanner at home, or maybe you can download a PDF scanner app, and they work great. So that's what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to pause for just a moment. Okay, so now we're going to put this folder I've just downloaded, or this form I just downloaded, into a shared file folder. So I've shared a file folder with you, and now you're going to drop this in here. So if you're using Chrome, it will just stick around right there, and you can just throw it in there, and then it'll load, and there it is, all set. So you'd want to do 1B, you'd sign that first, scan it in, create the PDF, and then put that in there as well. So everybody needs a 1A, everybody needs a 1B. Let's go back to this site, and let's say you're doing human research, you're doing a survey. That's the most common type of research. And so if that's the case, then you need Form 4. So you fill this all out. These checkboxes are the important part. You don't do anything below here. Download it, put it in the file folder. But if you're doing Form 4, you probably need this as well. So this is the human informed consent. So you can fill this out and download it. Now this is set up. So this is set up to get you past the committee, the SRC or the IRB committee. And what it doesn't have is it's set up here as a minor consent, or it's got parent guardian permission, all that sort of thing. So this is just a sample. So you don't have to necessarily fill this out. Again, if you're doing a survey, an electronic survey is great. You just need to have all this. This is all the required information you need for that. So that's more of an example, but it needs something that's going to be a human consent form and a minor consent form if you're, surveying students. All right. Lots of other forms here that you can print up and fill out, etc. Don't think that if you, I need to fill this out and then I'm going to download it from here. Now, if I open it up, here's the rub. Oh, all that information just went away. So don't do that. You can fill it out and then print it up if you're near a printer, or you can open it up with Adobe Acrobat and modify it and then save it. Or you can make it a Word doc or a Google Doc and then save it. You can do all those things, but you need to not think you're filling out the form and then just lose it over and over again, because that's frustrating. Back to 1B. 1B is the most frustrating thing for me, is getting your parent's signature, your signature, parent's signature, and getting these dates right. Okay, so so often I have people neglect to bring this in, and then they fill this out and they put the dates like, February 26th, but they did their experiment 2 weeks before. Well, that's disqualifying. So let's not do that. Okay, so that's it.